Hello, players. What we have here are the 12 plays that we're going to focus on, at least for this week, and if we need to make any changes, I'm going to do that. I want to go over a few things here. If you just look at the plays, you know that we have arrows, and if you have an arrow, you run continuously with speed in that particular direction. If there's a dot at the end of your route, that means you're supposed to stop and just look at the quarterback showing your hands. If you have a shade, this is kind of new. Letter A has a shade with the center running an arrow route. And the shade says, I call it a smart route. If you get to the sideline and the ball was not thrown to you, you can continue down that shade path. Letter B shows red going up and stopping, and then if he would be in man-to-man, he would run to the right. Okay, so there are shades in different places that you can continue on. Remember, we always run solid lines unless dotted lines are indicated. And I think that's pretty much it. One thing that we did add for those not there, I've been asking quarterbacks to go on 2. What we decided to do is if I want to go, let's say, on 2, I'm going to use my hand signal and I'm going to pump the brakes, okay? Pumping the brakes means we're going to slow it down, and the other word I can use is NASCAR. Now, for emphasis, we can still get the quarterback to use a number that would end in 2. But we're not trying to be, excuse me, we're not trying to be tricky with our team. We're just trying to go on 2 in order to hopefully cause the blitzer to jump. If I want to go fast, though, and this is not a car call where we automatically go on ready. If I want to go fast, I'm going to spin my finger like a car taking off, burning its tires. And the other word I can use is Indy. Indy's fast. Go on ready. Spin the tires. Go on ready. Pump the brakes. Go on 2. NASCAR. Go on 2. Plays here that we have, most of them can go in what we call the bunch formation. And I will have the plays that we can do everybody in bunch, or I can bunch from the left or bunch from the right. Just know that bunch means that everybody on, let's say that we did letter A in bunch. The purple receiver would go right next to the center and green would go right next to the center. And you'd still run your route. Okay, you'd still run your route. In letter A, for example, I would still have purple run straight up the field. I would still have the center running an arrow. And in this case, I would tell green to run their dotted line. So they would go up right here to the blitz mark and go across the field. So be prepared for the bunch formation. Quarterbacks, you're always still going to use your progression. Letter C, for example, is a great progression. You have green running the go route. That's touchdown. Purple running the slant dig route. Okay? That's first down. And then you have 2 check down routes. So always follow that progression. One thing quarterbacks that we had worked on, and we're going to come back to it again, is you really are a pocket passer. But the thing I'm going to work with you on is scrambling, okay? Scrambling. And so if we don't see somebody open, we don't want you just bailing out early, but if you have to make a move, we had people run directly to the right stop and throw, or we had them kind of do a turn back to our left side, stop and throw. The thing we'll have to work on, for example, in letter C, most of those routes are going to the right, and we'd kind of want to run right because we have pass receivers to the right. If you happen to have to go to the left, we would have one receiver right here. The other thing you can do, we talked about making a fire call. We're not going to do a fire call. What we're going to do is, if you're scrambling right and you can think of it, just start yelling right, right, right. And our scramble rule would be that everybody would stop, turn, and run to the right with you to be open. If you would go out to the left, you could yell left, 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 and everybody would know that you're scrambling to the left. But we'd only call right or left if you happen to scramble. But that's better than fire. Fire is just a generic term. Another thing is, let's go with letter F right here. See the slant right here? We decided that we're only going to do a one-step slant throw. We'd still go on one, but we would one-step the slant if the slant is open. And other than that, we still have the car calls where anybody who might be open, you can call a car call and we're automatically going to go on ready. Now, this is a lot of information that you're going to have to remember. We're going to practice it and you got to execute it. But quarterbacks, I'm telling you now, I am going to help you with the car calls. I'll help you with the cadence calls. And if you don't hear me say anything, we just run the play and everything will be on one at that particular point. When we call play, letter B, for example, everybody just look where you're at and run to your spots. Get lined up. I may or may not tell the quarterback who our primary receiver is. I may just let him go through the progression. In this case, the first progression would be, the first move would be whether or not I tell you to make me proud or make it happen or looking good, where you would play action. If I don't say it, then just run the pass. The progression would be the slant. If I tell Blue to go in the dotted line, he's a swing route, but you got the slant, really, that's it for down the field. And then you've got this hitch or in, you've got the arrow with the continuation, you've got the swing route right here. Okay, all checked down. So some of these plays are not all meant to be thrown downfield. Sometimes we need short yardage, first downs, we need to get into the end zone, and we're not, way back away from where our line of determination is going to be. A few defensive notes for some of you who haven't been here and things we've been working on. We've been working, I just want to use the 2-2 blast as an example. We've been working very hard at linebackers, dropping quickly to an angle and getting at their drop point, which is right where the blitz cone is, and looking around for receivers and reacting if it's a pass using the right arm or left arm, depending on where the receiver would be. And then the blitzer, we've been having him move out further away, not by the cone, but further away from the cone to take an outside in angle. When we went to the 3-1 defense, we put the linebacker where the primary formation is, and the blitzer goes on the opposite side. So that you'll have to remember. And then we worked really hard on safety coverage the other day. And safeties had to realize that they really had to be running on their angle deep, 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 and being as deep as the deepest receiver. And we really saw a lot of good progress on that. So those of you not there who play safety, that's something you're really going to have to work on. We're going to work on that in practice. But everybody's dropping on angles and running and doing their jobs on defense. Other than that, everything has been going very, very well, and I appreciate you watching this video. Please ask any questions that you have. Okay? Thank you.